Ma'am, if we do touch them though, that's technically installed and the charge will come out.
I don't care. You told me right now they're here. They're here to get a reaction.
And you're giving it.
And that's the First Amendment. Well, then let's go to court.
For what?
For them making me react.
If you want to take them to civil court,
you said that that's legal. Now I'm up against you guys too. You guys are on their side. You don't even know. You can't enforce the peace.
All right, ma'am. You have a good day.
No. Don't just blow me off like that. That's gaslighting.
I'm not.
You're on their side.
I'm not.
Go ahead and video inside their car again. First Amendment has nothing to do with violating. I asked you over and over to turn that thing off. I want the video. I want the video.
Don't touch him.
I already touched him. You're in their grass. This is Starbucks. You're in their grass. Oh, now it's my fault.
Now it's my fault.
I don't want a coffee.
I didn't shave today.
I
look
want
like
you to
crap.
get rid of them.
She's very winded.
Citizens arresting them.
This was funny. I'm sorry. I saw this and I'm like, everyone's got to see this.
There's
This is
nothing
hysterical.
illegal for me to do this. There's nothing illegal.
We're looking for you to escalate this, so that now you're the one that's going to get in trouble. I don't want that.
They need to turn it off and turn it over.
What's your name?
I'm not in trouble. I want their names.
What's your name?
What's their name? What is their name? Ma'am? What is their name? You're nothing. You're not even doing your job. I have citizens arresting them.
What's your name? What's your name?
I have citizens arresting them.
What's your name?
I am
What is
citizen
their name?
arresting them.
What is their name? I want to talk to you as an officer, but I'm asking you to citizens arrest
So
them.
right now you're.
I'm asking you to citizens arrest them. You don't want to do it, then you go inside.
They haven't committed any
You
violation.
go inside. I'm not committing any violation. I'm not committing.
They are not either.
I am not.
We're allowed to record
Well, then I'm not. Equal. We're all equal. Why don't you go inside and leave me alone too? instead of defending them. Look at him laughing. Are you on drugs? Are you on drugs? What is your
Are
name?
you on drugs? Kaiju
What is
Karen?
your
She's a
name?
Karen
Are you on
Kaiju.
drugs?
That's right.
Are you on drugs? What is your name?
Ma'am.
Are you with them? Are you conspiracy? Why
Are you
filming me
conspiracy?
illegally? It's illegal. It's illegal. Quit filming me. Why can't you be a normal human being?
This
What's
is
wrong
normal.
with you?
Mm.
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Why didn't you turn the thing off? Why didn't you give me the video?
They just want that. That's what they're looking for. Let's not
I
get
don't care what they want. You keep telling me.
it to them.
You keep telling me that. You keep telling me that. You keep telling me that. Why don't they turn the thing off? You have no. You didn't have that. Are you going to talk about me now? Are you going to talk about me?
Are you going to
Why
talk
don't you
about
make
me?
it
They're
stop
talking
laughing?
about you, lady. Watch out. They're talking about you.
Why don't you
They're
make me stop
conspiring
laughing?
against you. Be careful. They're going to get
Yes, you
they're
can.
plotting. Take you
Yes,
down.
you can. What are you going to lose your
51
little
and
job?
50.
Oh, you need that paycheck so bad. I'll do your job. I'm going to do my own job. You're on Starbucks property. You're in the police. 3 policemen now said you are completely doing this on purpose to make me react. You will never be a gentleman.
Let's go get some water, please. Okay.
Ma'am, I don't want to do anything you tell me.
I know you.
Ever.
Right now.
You're not trying to help me.
I am.
You're not helping me.
Dads. Oh, sorry. Let me get them. My bad.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
You can nombre songe. Donde Holy Spirit on you both. You will be convicted of your crime. I know the FBI. I have a reason.
She knows the FBI. What happened? Oh, no. No.
You can call the Bureau and talk to them about it.
Yes. Sorry about that. The voices in her head are clearly conspiring with the police. Yes, they are. Sorry about the ads. I'm having something's been going on. Like, I don't know, with the computer today. A lot of weird stuff happening where it's not like letting me do things. Taking forever to get things done. But hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? Yes, I am Jim, and I'm here to tell everybody some news and stuff, man. We got some good stories to talk about. Wonder if she has cash on speed dial. Yes, crazy white woman alert. What's up, everybody? What's up, Sharkman? Great to see you. Great to see you. What the F? Great to see you, Rodney. User error. Yes, probably. Lady Bama, good to see you. Tenenbra, awesome to see you. Miss Hacker, Finch, Sunshine. She's be taking to the hospital. Yes. Susan, what's up? 5150. Yes. Sneaky Sean's here. So is Joe. So is Kofi 2A. What's up? Yeah. Phil Coggins here. Kelly's here. Lynn. Gary Goose. Gary Goose. Goose, right? Andy, what's up, man? And they're there to get a reaction. And yeah, they're getting a reaction. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. It's against the law. It's crazy what's going on here. Let's see. Lisa's here too. So is Sherry Gatlin. What's up? Great to see you. Catherine K, you too, and Jay Schwartz. Delay is obvious. Michelle's here. Good to see you. Snake Eater was first. Yeah. What's up? So yeah, we got a bunch of news to talk about. And wouldn't you know, where's her blue hair? I think she must have ran out of dye. If the FBI doesn't take her serious, she'll escalate to her whistle. Yeah, I mean, this is what we're dealing with, folks. This is what we're dealing with. People who oh crap. I just realized what the problem is. I didn't have my light on. No, that's better, right? Now you can see I didn't shave today. What's up, Duck Fat? Great to see you too. Hey, what's up? I didn't have my light on, so I looked all dark. The dye already entered her brain. Yes, it did. So yeah, you can see my 5 o'clock shadow. I didn't shave today. I had a bunch of stuff going on. I didn't get around to it. It's pronounced Geets. All right, Geets. All right. You were Sneaky Sean, definitely on SSRIs. Yeah, so that was it. It was just this thing, like, I don't know, these were some what they call First Amendment auditors. They were out there making some videos talking to like following the cops, and she just decided to interject herself in it, which probably wasn't the greatest idea. Like, because as you could tell now, she's basically now famous. You know, it's like what was his name? Billy the Kid used to say, "I'll make you famous." hmm I'll make you famous. That's what he used to say. And then, so we got a bunch of news stories tonight. We got I know we talked about it a little bit last night because the breaking news, but now we got the stories about it. There was a joint U.S. and Nigerian operation to take out the number 2 in ISIS. There's also, um, there's also Pirro, U.S. Attorney Pirro for the D.C. Circuit is going to target parents for these kid takeovers. We also got a couple of videos of kid takeovers. And then we also are going to be talking about supposedly a bunch of gas stations around the whole country have been hit by cyber attacks, targeting their fuel level sensors and different things so they don't know when they're running low on fuel. Basically, it's kind of odd, that they're attacking our fuel supply sensors and stuff like that. And then we have, once again, we have a new weekly breakdown of the illegal alien crimes, along with a bunch of other stuff and a whole mess of other stories. So we'll see what we can do if we can hit the goal, which is, as always, it's for every $100 in total that comes in across all platforms: YouTube Super Chats, Rumble Rants, becoming a member or gifting memberships on YouTube, Rumble, Kick, or Twitch. Also, Locals Coins and Cash App, PayPal, Coffee, Ko-Fi, and Super Tips. We add it all up, and when we hit 100, we add an extra hour to the show. And for each additional $100 that comes in, we add an additional hour to the show. So the show could be as long as you want it to be. It could be 2 hours long, 3 hours long, 4 hours, 5, 6. You name it. You guys decide if you like it enough that you want it to keep going. And then when we hit $50, we activate Bella Vision for the evening. There she is. There's Bella. Did it take a long time for her picture to show up? Because it sure seemed like it where I was sitting, but it took a long time. There's Bella Vision. She's just chilling, and that's when we hit the $50. But if somebody is so generous, an individual person decides to give $25 themselves, and an individual, we would automatically activate Bella Vision for that. That could be like a $25 Cash App, a PayPal, a Super Tip, a Super Chat, a Rumble Rant, or it could be gifting 5 memberships, or it could even be like someone decides to give 5 individual gifted memberships, or a $10 Super Chat and 3 memberships or something like that. If that math is right, I think that's right. So whatever. I'll add it up if I notice it's the same person. If I keep track, I'll add it up and I'll activate it at that point. So. What's up, America? Jane Lurch Lingers here. Yes, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel, because it really does help in the algorithm. Yeah, they're not going to turn the cameras off because she's putting on such a good show. Yeah. But anyway, so let's, what do you say? Let's jump into the first story of the evening. Trump says that Abu Bilal al-Minuki, second in command of ISIS globally, was killed in a U.S. Nigerian operation. So I guess this is the operation. There's no sound, but this is the video that Fox has that was provided by CENTCOM. So, hey, Catherine K, great to see you. So it just looks like maybe I thought when I originally saw the story that this was like ground forces, but it looks like maybe it was an airstrike. So I don't know what the Nigerian forces exactly did and how we know that that's actually what happened. That's the guy we got. So it shows a targeted strike against the Nigerian forces carried out an operation to kill the global. President Trump announced Friday that the U.S. and Nigerian forces carried out an operation to kill the global ISIS leader. Can you guys see this? Because I'm not seeing anything right now on my StreamYard is acting really weird. Hey, what's up, NASCAR Mo? Great to see you. Trump identified the terrorist as Abu Bilal al-Manuki, who he described as ISIS's second in command globally. Tonight, in my direction, brave American forces and the armed forces of Nigeria flawlessly executed a meticulous, planned, and very complex mission to eliminate the most active terrorists in the world from the battlefield. Abu Bilal al-Manuki, second in command to ISIS, thought he could hide in Africa, but little did he know he had sources who kept us informed on what he was doing. He will no longer terrorize the people of Africa or help plan operations to target Americans. Trump also thanked that during the protest in England was a statement, "Mega, make England great again." I saw reports now. I was actually watching Sargon of Akkad, Carl Benjamin, cover it somewhat earlier today. And he was like poo-pooing how many people were there. He was saying like, oh, there's only this many people. I don't know. It seemed like a lot of people to me. It seemed like there was quite a bit of people there to me when I looked. So who knows? So in a Saturday morning ex-post, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth confirmed that U.S. forces in coordination with the armed forces of Nigeria killed al-Manuki and other ISIS leaders and provided more details about al-Manuki's role within ISIS. Al-Bilal al-Manuki was a senior ISIS General Directorate of Provinces Emir, the number 2 for ISIS globally. He was responsible for overseeing and planning attacks and directing hostage-taking and managing financial operations. The removal of him and other personnel makes Americans safer by further degrading ISIS's ability to plan and carry out attacks that threaten the U.S. homeland. It also protects American citizens and innocent civilians. Operations like last night's demonstrate the exceptional lethality, patience, and skill of U.S. forces, amplified alongside willing and capable partners to address shared threats. Hegseth wrote that this should serve as a reminder that we will hunt down those who wish to harm Americans or innocent Christians wherever they are. So yes, these people were in Nigeria targeting the Christians. We've been seeing reports about the Christians being attacked over the past few weeks. It's been going on for months, really years. And this is the first time, really, I think anybody's actually done something about it. Hey, we'll call Magic. What's up? How you doing? Howdy, howdy. Yeah. Don't get Manuki'd. So Hegseth said that the U.S. Africa Command carried out the precise operation to remove this terrorist at Trump's direction and in conjunction with the Nigerian president. The secretary reiterated how Trump in November declared to the world that we would help protect Christians in Nigeria and instructed the Department of War to prepare for action. So that was November. This is May. Keeping an eye on the Louisiana Senate primary, you and Netflix MMA night. Yeesh. Oh yeah, that's right. We have is it Gina Carano versus Ronda Rousey tonight? Fox News Digital reached out to the White House for comment. Why doesn't anyone complain about the cost of AFRICOM? Well, they don't care. Like, I'm sure. I keep an eye on it. It's great. No, don't do that. Don't clip that one. So AFRICOM confirmed ISIS strikes in a Saturday statement. At the direction of President and United States Secretary of War in coordination with the government of Nigeria, U.S. Africa Command conducted an operation against ISIS in northeastern Nigeria on May 16th. The command's initial assessment is that multiple terrorists, to include Abu Bilal al-Manuki and the director of global operations for ISIS, as well as other senior ISIS leaders, were killed during the operation. Yeah. Oh, my big, what's up? Dope. Yeah, well, that's what you call. I have dyslexia, so I get a pass, right? This operation underscores the exceptional value of U.S.-Nigerian partnership and was made possible through the cooperation and coordination of our forces in recent months. Make no mistake, our two nations will relentlessly pursue and neutralize terrorist threats that are committed to protecting our people and our interests. Al-Manuki added that the statement provided strategic guidance to ISIS global network on media and financial operations, as well as development and manufacturing of weapons, explosives, and drones. He was the most active terrorist in the world and had a significant history of involvement in planning attacks and direct hostage taking. The announcement comes after U.S. Central Command said it carried out multiple strikes against more than 30 targets in Syria. CENTCOM said U.S. forces struck ISIS infrastructure and weapon storage targets using fixed wing, rotary wing, and unmanned aircraft. Trump told reporters that he had a great conversation with the Syrian president on January 27th. He said, of all the things doing with Syria in the areas he's worked out very well, and at the same time, we're very happy about it. That's weird. CENTCOM announced in February that more than 50 ISIS terrorists have been killed or captured, and more than 100 infrastructure targets struck during 2 months of targeted operations in Syria. So the U.S. launched Operation Hawkeye Strike in response to an ISIS ambush that killed 2 U.S. service members and an American interpreter in Palmyra, Syria. Yeah, it does happen. Does happen. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Trump announces flawless joint U.S.-Nigerian raid, eliminating ISIS number 2. He will no longer terrorize the people. That's good to know. Nigeria, sure hope we weren't supporting them with daycares and leering centers. Probably were. So yeah, so that's a very good outcome, I think. So Trump made the announcement last night at 11:30. So I kind of talked about it a little bit when the news broke last night, but didn't really get into it. It just says U.S. and Nigerian forces kill top ISIS leader hiding out in Africa in a very complex mission. Trump says U.S. and Nigerian forces kill second in command of ISIS. That's on the Epoch Times and OAN. Same difference. U.S. and Nigerian forces flawlessly take out ISIS second in command. So basically, all the same story. Now this, like, it's a good thing that we're taking out these ISIS leaders, I think. Hopefully you guys are seeing this because my screen was all black right now. What's it say? 16% reporting in a primary, any percent targets before spouting results. No, I don't know. I mean, so it's Louisiana. So they're looking at Cassidy, right? Was it, or Louisiana, was it Cassidy or Cassidy, right? Dr. Cassidy, the guy who voted to convict Trump. I think that's right? I think that's right? Let me look. Oh, yeah, here it is. So my computer is like stalling for some reason. So this says, tonight, Bill Cassidy will get his ass handed to him by voters for voting to impeach Trump. It's time. It's payback time. Yep, that's him. He's currently in third. Hey, everyone is here. Yes. What's up? Yeah. Yeah, this is what he did. This is him.
The Constitution in our country is more important than any one person. I voted to convict President Trump because he is guilty.
Cassidy voted early.
Constitution.
So, yeah. Yep. Poetic. This is just the first of many. He certainly deserves it. Hope it happens. It is possible to hold leaders accountable through the ballot box while respecting the constitutional votes are part of a senator's duties, even when they feel frustrated. Keeping our civic process focused on policy and performance strengthens democracy. Oh, well, I would say that, what he did is not what you call following his voters. YouTube is stuttering. Yeah, I don't know if it's my computer or it's 2 more badges left. Wuhan. What? See, Benny Johnson's outrageous post today was Israel just nuked. I haven't seen anyone else anywhere mention it. What? You're back from nature therapy. Did I miss anything good the past few days? I don't know. I mean, same stuff. It seems like it's just the same stuff, repeating. Kick is working good. Okay. Have to wait and see what happens. So hackers possibly linked to Iran have breached tank readers at U.S. gas stations. Louisiana does have a runoff if no 50-plus winner. So yeah, hackers suspected to have ties with Iran may have infiltrated computerized fuel monitoring systems at gas stations across the United States. The report said the suspected cyber intrusions targeted automatic tank gauge systems, or ATGs, which are used to track fuel levels and detect leaks in underground storage tanks at gas stations. The report suggests that federal investigators think the activity was carried out by hackers linked to Iran, but officials have not publicly connected the operation to a specific branch of the Iranian government. I myself will connect it to the IRGC because that's the only branch doing anything. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. IRGC. That's who's doing all this stuff. U.S. officials told CNN that some of the systems had been connected to the internet without password protection, potentially allowing hackers to access and manipulate digital readings and display settings. So they were connected to the internet without passwords. Gee, who made a mistake there, you think? They're trying anything now they can. That's what it seems like. I mean, all this would do is possibly make the gas station run out of gas because they wouldn't realize they were that low on gas. So they would think they have plenty of gas, but they don't. So they wouldn't order new gas. I mean, that's what would happen. Or maybe they would order gas thinking they're out and then the tanks would get overflowed. I don't know. Investigators warned that falsified readings could hide leaks or create other safety problems. Allegedly, a huge explosion just outside Jerusalem. Israel is claiming they did a controlled explosion planned test. What? That's like leaving your key in a car and it gets stolen. Yeah, hold on a second. Hold on. Huh. Well, that's not a video. It says watch. That's not a video. So why you do that to me? Oh, my computer. What is going on? I'm sorry, folks. My computer is acting goofy. It's like just stalling and freezing on stuff. Old Fart Jr. Dos Santos KO'd the first round. The explosion at the major IDF thing was hours ago, so no idea if it's true. It's being reported elsewhere. So Sky reports the scene of a large explosion in central Israel. I mean, that don't look like a factory or something like that.
Well, here we are in central Israel, an impact site. Just look, an absolutely packed residential neighborhood. And here you have debris that's fallen. As we understand it, this was a collision between an Israeli interceptor and a missile. And some people have actually still got some of the remnants from the missile. You can see here the damage to some of the vehicles here. I've just been speaking to one man who said he actually hasn't been going down to the shelter, but just a couple of hours ago, his wife encouraged him to, and then he heard this loud boom. Remarkably, No one has been injured, but just look how close they would have come. You can look at that damaged window there. Lots of children who have been watching this all from their
It wasn't
balconies.
this? Okay.
A lot has been said about the reduced threat from Iran, fewer impacts, but this is a reminder of the ongoing jeopardy. Iranian missiles still reaching Israel, and today in a very
So you're saying this was different. This was not it. Enormous explosion occupied Jerusalem shocks Israelis. Is this what you're talking about? This one?
What the fuck? What the fuck? יש שם בסיס צבאי באמא שלי. יו. מה זה? What the fuck?
Oh, that's weird. That's almost like a mushroom cloud looking. And initially, Israel media claimed it could have been a controlled explosion of Iranian unexploded missile, yet it appears to be a more serious event. Just a wee small experiment. Defense firm says large explosion near Beit Shemesh was part of a pre-planned experiment. I wonder what kind of experiment it was. A large blast was heard in the Jerusalem area city of Beit Shemesh this evening at a testing ground belonging to state-owned Tomer defense firm. Hail real African people. Mystery explosion near Beit Shemesh. Forgot end of last night, I think. So this is it? All right. Just check for Israeli news sites and not. I saw Russian telegrams spurging, but they get a lot wrong, especially with Israel. In a statement, Tomer, which develops engines for rockets and missiles, says the blast was a pre-planned experiment that was carried out according to plan. Okay.
What the fuck?
Oh, same video. So that's it. That's all we got. That's all they're saying. That's not a lot of information. That's not a lot of information. It's not a lot of information. Okay, come on. Mystery explosion. Okay. Mysterious explosion. So is this the same video? Or what is this? A picture? I don't know what's going on here. So it's a company claims it was a planned test. So that's all they're going to say. Among other things, the company develops engines for aero missiles, satellite engines. It's going to be the same one, right?
What the fuck?
It's the same video. All right. Yeah, we're not buying it. Whatever it was, it didn't go according to plan. Same thing here about the Iran cyber breach. You'll wait on it. I'm skeptical at the moment. Yeah, something doesn't seem right. You keep saying what the F. Yeah. What's up, Ginger? How you doing? Great to see you. Jonathan, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Awesome to see you. All you can find is it was controlled fire, emergency on site, no casualties reported. It seems like there should be more to the story, though. Like, there should be more that we, you know, I mean, like what we're getting doesn't seem like it's really the truthuses. So, U.S. officials suspect Iranian hackers may be behind a series of cyber intrusions targeting and systems that monitor levels at gas stations. Officials clarify that the actual fuel quantities of storage tanks were not affected. Well, how would they affect the fuel quantity? That doesn't make any sense. Incidents have not resulted in physical damage or injuries. According to CNN, citing sources, Iran's past cyber activity targeting the fuel infrastructure is one of the key reasons it's being considered a leading suspect. So they've done this before. I mean, if they don't even have password protection, if they're just open with no password and they're not connected to the internet, it could be anybody. It could have been just some kid that was like, "Oh, look at this." You know, I don't know, man. I mean, it sounds suspicioso to me. Very suspicioso. Okay. So, I mean, that just seems dumb to me that anyone would have anything connected to the internet without a password in this day and age. It seems extremely dumb that would ever happen. You know, like it seems so dumb. It seems so dumb. All blurry to me, but I can't see anymore. Not exactly hacking. Now that's the thing. It's not trust nothing. I agree. It's not really hacking if they have no password and you can just connect to it. Like all you need is like the IP address and you can log right in. Like if it's one of them systems, you just enter the IP and it takes you in. Like what are you doing? What are you thinking? What are you doing? Seems nuts to me. Anyway, so U.S. Attorney Pirro is going after parents of kids taking part in the DC teen takeovers. And I figured if Jim hadn't heard it yet, it was probably bogus. Yeah, I mean, I'm shocked that didn't come up. I mean, maybe because they're saying it was nothing. So until somebody gets some information saying it was more or something more to it, then it probably will, you know, it'll probably just not be in the news. You know, I don't know. I don't know if Israel has do they have one of those countries where they basically censor the media and they could tell the media not to print stuff? I don't know. I'm asking a question. I don't know how do they have freedom of speech there? Like freedom of the press? I don't know. So here's a teen takeover for all to see.
Has buying life insurance ever
Oh,
felt
geez.
threatening?
Seriously?
Anything can happen. High velocity pigeon impact.
That's not real.
Left the wife and 4 kids. No insurance.
There's a better way. Elios, covered in minutes, supported for life.
However, there is one area in Washington, D.C. that has seen more than its share of one problem: teen takeovers. These takeovers have terrorized our neighborhoods. They have shut down businesses, and they have wasted hard-earned tax dollars
Probably TikTok.
of law-abiding
Probably TikTok.
residents who just want to live and work in peace. Those takeovers in places like the Navy Yard and Noma often lead to disorderly conduct, assaults, robberies, and fights. Mayor Muriel Bowser has repeatedly requested curfew zones and emergency measures, while the DC Council refuses to deal with the problem. And I'm going to say that again, where the DC Council that passes the laws refuses to deal with the problem. And their lack of action creates an extremely dangerous situation for the people of the district and even the teens themselves. And as we grapple with this problem, there is one area that hasn't been discussed. Parental involvement has been a noted gap in any discussion. And I am here to say, as the United States Attorney in the District of Columbia, that ends today. Starting today, my office will aggressively prosecute parents under DC's curfew law, and the specific statute that we will use is a violation of DC Code 22-811 and it involves contributing to the delinquency of a minor. This statute makes it unlawful for an adult to enable, facilitate, or permit a minor to engage in delinquent acts. The penalty is up to 6 months imprisonment. So if the evidence shows the parent knew or should have known or permitted or failed to prevent participation, we're going to charge them. And if you drop your kid off and you fail to supervise them or you let them skip school to join the chaos, you are going to face fines, court-ordered classes, and possible jail time. Penalties can be imposed even if the juvenile minor is not prosecuted. So a parent commits this offense if they permit or by insufficient control
Hey, what's up,
allow
Hank?
a minor under the age of 18 to violate a curfew. Now, we're going to be asking the Metropolitan Police Department to issue parental citations whenever a minor's curfew violation is tied to a takeover. We will seek to pair these citations with mandatory parental notification and court-mandated parental classes or family counseling as a condition of the resolution of the case. The shame of this is that we are protecting your children, the ones who may join a teen takeover out of simple curiosity, because you won't, because we don't want your child victimized. So we now have to step into your shoes, parents, to make sure that your child is not victimized. This doesn't require new legislation, folks. It's all there. And it sends a clear message to the parents. You must supervise your kids or face criminal consequences. Law-abiding taxpayers should no longer have to pay for parental neglect. And as we take back our streets, as you've heard today, there will be no excuses. Parents, do your jobs, or we will do ours. And in the end, taxpayers will no longer subsidize the chaos caused by parental neglect. So parents, if you don't control your kids, the district will.
That's right. The district will. If you don't control your kids, the district will. So Pirro is planning on going after parents. Are you guys seeing anything right now? Because my screen keeps blacking out, not showing anything. I don't know. She's getting better makeup working for the government than when she was on Fox. Automagically. I like that, Joe. Hey, Ramza, what's up? Ramza B fan. How you doing? The volume's fine. Are the accused black, live in DC, equals not guilty automatically? Probably. Parents were always held responsible when I was a kid. Yeah, well, you got a picture? You could see it? All right. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with my computer. This is starting to really irk me. You see, but the audio was a tad low. Well, the audio, I had nothing I could do about it. Thomas Jefferson enunciated the basic principle of public service. When a man assumes a public trust, he should consider himself as public property. Oh, there you go. So she's going to go after parents for these teen takeovers, which have disrupted the district. There's been a lot of teen takeovers in Chicago. You know, there was actually, I'll pull a video of it in a second here. I think I have one of them in Chicago. Not that one. Yeah, here's one. Which I'll get to that as soon as we read this. We'll see one in Chicago. Lots here in Florida too. Oh, well. 14 and under, try the parents. After 15, kid can be tried as an adult. Infantilizing teens is a big problem. You had your HDMI plugged into your motherboard instead of a graphics card for a long time, finally changed it. Oh, no, I'm not doing that. Did you mess with your acceleration settings in your browser? I don't know what I did. I did something happen. Good on YouTube. Like something happened. I don't know what happened. Something happened. Like today when I turned my computer on, it took like 5 minutes for it to boot, for it to post, because it was kept doing memory changing. So memory training. I'm sorry. So I don't know if maybe I'm having an issue, if something's going wrong with them, if something's going on. But I've seen other people complain, and the same thing has happened. It was just an update that Windows did, and I don't know if that fucked something up. I don't know. But like when I go to change tabs, it's like freezing and pausing. It's like taking like a few seconds for it to recognize I'm changing tabs. Something snuck into your startup. Something's going on. I don't know. So she's going to go after them because the Navy Yard's been a problem. So this is a full news conference here. What is this?
Has buying life insurance ever felt threatening?
Never felt threatening to me. Pirro said her office would immediately begin aggressively prosecuting parents. She added that she would specifically be going after them for contributing to the delinquency of a minor, which is covered by DC's curfew law.
Good morning, and thank you all for being here today. As Police Week comes to an end, let me start first by saying something that doesn't get said enough. The men and women of law enforcement in this country are extraordinary public servants. We are thankful for the work they have done in Washington, D.C. and across the country to keep Americans safe. All of us rely on them to keep our communities, families, and children safe. They are the true heroes among us, and we are very grateful for their hard work and sacrifices each day. This summer, Washington, D.C. will host one of the most significant, if not the most significant, national celebrations in a generation. On July 4th, 2026, our nation marks its 250th year of independence. This city, Washington, D.C., is going to be the center of this historic celebration. The Great American State Fair, the Freedom 250 Grand Prix, the July 4th Spirit of Independence Festival, and countless other events hosted by federal and local entities. Thanks to the vision of President Trump, millions of Americans will converge on this city to celebrate the country's founding and dream about its future. And thanks to the vision of President Trump, millions of Americans will get to enjoy this celebration in a historically safe city. With the DC Safe and Beautiful Task Force launched last year, this administration has charted a new future of law and order and swift accountability for criminals who had been driving DC's violent crime rates up to unacceptable levels. In just 281 days, DC Safe and Beautiful Task Force partners have made nearly 13,000 arrests, seized 1,418 illegal firearms from the streets of DC, apprehended 32 murder suspects, found 23 missing children, among other shocking results for public safety in this city. As a result of these remarkable efforts, crime is down over 25% in DC, with even higher drops in the homicide rate and other violent crimes. The criminals who had viewed DC as their playground are being taken off the streets, prosecuted, and imprisoned. But our message today is that we're not done. We are not satisfied. We are not content with good. We are coming for perfection.
We're coming for you.
It won't be done until we reclaim every last inch of ground on anyone seeking to do harm in our nation's capital. We are fully committed to making this city a place where mothers feel safe walking their children to the corner market, where running a late night errand doesn't put you at risk of a carjacking, where residents and tourists alike can freely experience the best this beautiful city can offer. Accordingly, this summer, starting now, the DC Safe and Beautiful Task Force is going even deeper, even further, to surge even more federal law enforcement resources to this district to drive down crime in DC. This is a proactive and deliberate measure to ensure this great city remains safe and beautiful. Our efforts will serve as an example to the entire country of what it looks like when leaders step up and say enough is enough when it comes to criminals and lawlessness. Thank you.
Okay. But someone else going to talk in a second here. Where is that at? It didn't show up. It didn't show up. What the hell's going on? I don't know. What the hell? So yeah, so this is what's been happening in Chicago. You know, they're using your pictures broadcasting software probably. Yeah, it's where it's on. It could be StreamYard. I don't know. It could be StreamYard acting screwy. So absolutely based black woman goes off on a teen takeover in her neighborhood in Chicago. So she starts screaming at him. Last night, over 500 teams organized a takeover in a neighborhood in Chicago as dozens of officers were called in to escort them home after they began jumping and dancing on cars. It was 1 a.m. in the morning.
So I came outside, and this is the shit that's going on our fucking block. Like, what the hell? This shit is fucking crazy. If you're looking for your kids, they are probably on fucking 68th and Justine. This shit is crazy. Like, what the fuck?
We got a block party.
Yes, get their ass the fuck up off of this block, please. Yep. Take y'all ass on.
Nobody knows.
Come outside, motherfucker, standing on top of your car, throwing ass, shaking ass. You tell them get up off of your car. They want to get fucking ignorant with you. Take y'all ass the fuck on. Take y'all ass the fuck on. Come get y'all motherfucking baby kids. Fuck. This shit don't make no motherfucking sense.
No, don't make no sense.
Look, you got fucking police out here.
No parking, stopping, or standing. Please move your car or you will be ticketed or towed.
Thank you.
What are they calling it for?
Or standing.
What are they calling it for,
Please move
Gunham?
your car. Please remain in your vehicle. Please, no loitering. Please
No loitering.
Yeah, please disperse. Please disperse.
No loitering. Please disperse. No loitering.
I was upstairs working.
No loitering. Please disperse. No
This
loitering.
shit.
Please disperse. No loitering. Please disperse. No loitering. Please disperse. No loitering.
They done blocked off fucking 69th Street. Like, what the hell?
No loitering. Please disperse.
What the fuck?
Please disperse. No loitering. Please disperse.
This shit is crazy.
Please disperse.
This shit don't make no sense.
No loitering. Please disperse. No loitering.
But every time they want to come around here with this, why always end up with a ticket on my motherfucking car?
Wait.
For real, for real.
Oh, didn't I thought the governor? I thought the governor announced that there was going to be that there wasn't going to be any runoffs, or is that no? Maybe that's because they're moving. There's some elections that were. Wait, see, it's confusing because there's changes with the congressional races. So the prior there's something going on where they were talking about not being any runoffs in Louisiana because of the changing of the districts. Mm-hmm. So John Fleming, Julie Letlow, and Bill Cassidy. Who did Trump endorse? Julie Letlow or John Fleming? It's an AI attack. Yeah, probably. Yeah, Disperse. Sounds like an ED 209.
This is crazy. If anybody looking for their kids and can't find them, they on 69th and Justine, blocking out 69th Street. This don't make no damn sense. But I'm glad they is gone from up off this motherfucking block.
Probably not. But until other jurisdictions start enforcing the law and start holding people accountable for what's happening with stuff like this, it's going to continue.
Now
to
they finna go block off Ashland. They ain't finna do nothing but go block off Ashland. This crazy.
It is. It's just crazy. That's what's going on all over the country, all different places. And this is what's happening. You got leave our crime alone from Newscomb, Prickster, and Huckle to Trump. At this, look at Jennifer Pastor is the chief of police for Brookline, massive two shits. She was celebrated as the first woman to hold the position. The police department just basically apologized for ICE arresting a criminal illegal and promised residents they had nothing to do with the arrest. Yeah. Brookline, massive two shits police are practically apologizing for ICE arresting illegal alien Adwal Olola. They boast about not giving him over to ICE and explain that ICE got him anyway, and they did not assist the ICE. Look at this. Brookline police arrested him following a motor vehicle stop involving alleged criminal offenses, including assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, failure to stop for police, possession of a forged license, numerous motor vehicle. The Hill call the top two winners, so runoff. Okay. Is it a senior prank night? Not in Chicago at this. Chicago schools go until mid-June. Check multiple sources say there will be a runoff of no majority. The primary recall was for House only. Okay. Anyway, so. Prior to the individual's release, immigration agents provided Brookline with an immigration detainer. In compliance with police policy, the individual was advised of the notice and a copy was placed into his property. No action was taken by us to facilitate the ICE detention. The individual was later released upon entering a public area and no longer in police custody. The individual was taken into custody by ICE. It's crazy that they're doing this and saying this stuff. Like, they should have just handed him over, you know? And you've got like these people in Congress. You got like Jamie Ratskin was saying, well, why doesn't ICE just go and just go get them from the police? Why do they have to do this? This is why they refuse to give the people over. You know, no action was taken to facilitate the ICE detention. Individual was later released. So later in the evening, Brookline police responded to a 911 request for assistance from ICE agents after the individual allegedly became disruptive during transport, creating a public safety concern. Brookline officers responded to monitor the scene, maintain public safety, ensure the safety of bystanders. The individual remained in ICE custody at all times. Brookline officers not participate. I didn't shave today. No, I needed to shave. I just had a bunch of stuff going on, and that's why I was with a late show and everything, because I almost didn't stream tonight. But based on information available, Brookline personnel acted in accordance with department policies. We recognize that incidents involving federal immigration enforcement can be distressing for members of the community. What the fuck? What is happening in this world? What is happening in this world? And there he is. No. She should be relieved of duty. First female chief celebrates protecting a violent illegal with assault on cop charges over American safety. Peak sanctuary priorities. Liberal white women do more harm to America than radical Islamists, and I think radical Islamists are one of the greatest threats to American public. Yeah, I agree. So Pirro threatens to charge youth who violate curfew, parents of youth, what they should. They should start charging everybody. Everybody must get charged. Pirro wants warns parents of jail time. DOJ announces parents of teens who participate in teen takeovers will be prosecuted. Yeah, and we got this one. Lawmakers to charge parents in teen takeovers.
On teen takeovers in Washington, D.C.
So today, the U.S. Attorney for D.C., Janine Pirro, announced that her office will be prosecuting parents.
This is WFLD Chicago, Channel 32 in Chicago. It's a local Fox station. And they're acting like, what? You would charge somebody? What? Saw me on Cynic stream? Yeah, well, I popped in there for a minute. This is crazy. Look at this guy's face. Watch.
Right, there's a crackdown on teen takeovers in Washington, D.C.
So today, the U.S. Attorney for D.C., Janine Pirro, announced that her office will be prosecuting parents if their children are participating in these takeovers. Now, this is something some alders also want to do, and I had the opportunity to ask Mayor Johnson about it.
Parental involvement has been a noted gap in any discussion.
In a move to tackle teen takeovers in Washington, D.C., U.S. Attorney Janine Pirro announced her office will be prosecuting parents of children who are participating in takeovers.
The evidence shows the parent knew or should have known or permitted or failed to prevent participation, we're going to charge them. And if you drop your kid off and you fail to supervise them or you let them skip school to join the chaos, you are going to face fines, court-ordered classes, and possible jail time.
Pirro plans on charging them for violating D.C. Code 228-11, contributing to the delinquency of a minor. It comes days after D.C. Council approved a first vote to make juvenile curfew zones permanent in response to teen takeovers. Under this rule, police would restrict gatherings for minors and enforce curfews starting at 8 p.m. in those designated areas.
We have tried and been unsuccessful to move forward on legislation that I think would be beneficial, not only addressing snap curfew, but holding parents accountable for the crimes of their minors.
This is what Alderman Raymond Lopez said Monday when we talked not only about the latest street takeovers in Grant Park and Hegwish, but teen takeovers like the ones we saw in Hyde Park and the Loop back in March. Mayor Brandon Johnson vetoed a snap curfew that City Council passed last year.
When does it get to a point where the parents need to be held accountable for their children's actions?
But parents do have to do more in this moment, right? But here's a challenge, right? And I heard directly from young people that for some of their peers, their parents are working 2 or 3 jobs, and that supervision is lacking. And I think this is when we as a village have to come together and surround these families and support them. But absolutely, parents have to know where their children are. Parents have to be engaged. And we have a responsibility as a city to create as many safe spaces as well as economic opportunities for families so they don't feel the need to act out of their despair.
So this is acting out of despair. This is acting out of despair. This is acting out of despair is what he's saying. So this is all because it's despair. They all have cell phones. They all have Jordans. They're all out there running around. I'm sorry. It's not out of despair. Yeah, he skirted the responsibility question. Yes, he did. He said it's all acting out of despair. They're despairing because, they don't, maybe they're out there looking for their fathers. Maybe that's what they're doing. They're looking for their dads. He's making excuses for them. Yeah, he is. It takes a family to raise a child, not a communist village crap. You ain't kidding, man. This is ridiculous. The fact that he would say this stuff is just mind-boggling.
One of the potential solutions from some alders who are suggesting this
saying
is
alders,
not only talking about holding parents
aldermen.
accountable, but maybe even charging them with misdemeanors. Is that something you would support?
Not on face value.
No,
right?
I would support
I think that, we've had a time in our city's history where we incarcerated and fined and feed people, and it didn't lead to safer communities.
So I did ask Mayor Johnson about a snap curfew. He still indicated to me he is against one and argued Chicago police can enforce the existing curfew laws. And they also have the ability to enforce a dispersal order. So this is something that the alders obviously disagree with Mayor Johnson about. And this is something that Chicago police also disagree with Mayor Johnson about. But this is certainly something that we're going to be watching as well.
And do we know if the alders will be taking up snap curfew again?
They definitely want to, but knowing that summer is coming up, school is going to be getting out soon, seeing what happened in both Grant Park and Hegwish over these last few days, they kind of want to do a temperature check, especially if more of these events are happening. They think maybe that will inspire some to change the vote, because right now they do not have the votes possible to override Mayor Johnson's veto when it comes to that snap curfew.
Thank you, Brett.
Yeah. So that's that. All right. Come on. Come on. Come on. I'm hoping it's gonna, if it doesn't get better, I'm closing. I have a lot of tabs open, so I'm closing tabs as I go. So I'm hoping it'll start this problem will go. If this problem doesn't go away, then it's something structural. Now, kids are more likely to be Dems. We will punish their more likely Republican parents. No, I don't think their parents are Republican. That's not what. No, that's just Brandon Johnson doesn't want anybody punished. He wants it to be like this. The more chaos, the more craziness, the more excuses he has to invoke and implement his communist plans. So Davidson County, Tennessee officials are panicking right now because illegal immigrant families could lose their kids' free government health care if they can't verify legal status. Just read that again. I was told no illegal aliens were getting free health care. I was told this was a far-right conspiracy. Now that Tennessee passes one law requiring verification that kids on Medicaid's that they are citizens, the officials are saying out loud on the record that the kids of the people who cannot prove that they're here legally have been on state benefits this whole time. They were lying. They were always lying. Yeah, a lot of fathers are gone or kicked out of the house by the mother, wife, or kids. Take the mother over by time they're 13, 14. Yes. Responsibility versus accountability is a big difference. It is. Lumba for Mayor Johnson poll numbers. What do you mean?
It's a huge threat to life for kids with significant disabilities, for families that can't afford to support their kids.
Last fall, Metro's Board of Health for Nashville and Davidson County says they received a notice from the Tennessee Department of Health saying they would need to verify the citizenship status of everyone enrolled in a public benefit program. That includes Children's Special Services, or CSS, which provides access to care for children with physical disabilities from birth to 21 years of age.
The process for disenrolling kids 18 to 21 has begun, and there's conversation around disenrolling kids 0 to 17.
Who's this guy talking? Why does he sound like he's not a citizen? What is going on? This is no wonder we've got all these illegals on everything. We've got illegals running the program. It's probably Windows Update causing the problems. Windows getting worse all the time. Micro suck. Probably. I don't know. There was an issue. This was doing this before with Chrome. And then I was using Opera. Yeah, where is this guy from? Probably Smelia or Haiti or something. And then I started using Opera and using other stuff. And then all of a sudden I went back to Chrome and it was working fine. And no access to the banking system. Because he is an illegal. Yeah.
Disenrolling kids 0 to 17.
According to Metro's Board of Health, adult applicants who can't verify their status would be disenrolled by May 29th. This comes after the Tennessee General Assembly passed a law requiring all applicants for public benefits ages 18 and older to verify they are in the U.S. legally. It's unknown at this time whether children 17 and younger will be disenrolled from the program.
It's complicated because of federal and state weaving of funding, which was meant to be able to sustain funding for kids with special health care needs.
According to Metro Board of Health employee Deanna Allen Robb, some families anticipating to be disenrolled include a child with congenital heart anomaly, where life expectancy is less than 12 months without treatment, and children with cancer, leukemia, and lymphoma, where life expectancy is less than 5 years without treatment.
We are marshaling all the resources that we can, what is available, and sharing information with families about where there may be other places that they could go if they need to get life-saving care for their child.
And Metro's Board of Health says 7 adults are in the process of being disenrolled from the program, and about 100 children 17 years old and younger are potentially at risk of losing CSS coverage.
All right. I was just looking at some settings on Chrome to see if there was something going on here, but I don't see it. Hey, what's up, Fletcher boy? Jim, the mayor, that's Mayor Freddie's people. The Reddit crowd got the gay woke guy elected by a slim margin. Yeah. I'm here late, but happy Saturday, Jim and crew. Thanks, Casper. Mega for the win says GTFO, the country. Yes. Huge purple background letters. Yeah. Government instituted to secure people's rights, not to control them. That's right. Disenrolled, is that a word? What's all this dis that and dis that? Yeah. Well, how about just why do I get the feeling Carano being set up? Wait, you're saying set up to lose? Are you watching the fight? How's it look? In Canada, they would be referred to use the MAID system. Maybe send them back to their own country. Most of the countries they come from have socialized medicine. Take their kids back to those countries. Yeah, MAIDs. So everyone feels vulnerable. Get them out. Enough is enough. Put the third world mentality in the government, and we were all on our way to being a third world here. Yes. What's up? Yes. So now we're into the illegal alien crime. Probably the best line of questioning from Fairfax County, California, and Fairfax Sheriff has been Jim Jordan in the case of Marvin Morales Ortiz. We'll add coverage of the case and replies. So we're going to look at the replies.
Thank you. Sheriff, why'd you let Marvin Morales Ortiz out of jail?
Because I received a court order, a judicial order from a judge ordering his release.
Because the guy beside you wouldn't prosecute him, right?
You'd have to talk to him.
So this guy, the guy beside you wouldn't prosecute the guy who's an illegal migrant, who'd been charged with 6 different crimes, who was arrested for murder in 2020, who in 2023 assaulted a police officer, and who in September of 2025 was charged with aggravated malicious wounding and brandishing a gun. And that guy's released, you can't hold him because he's not going to be prosecuted. Is that right?
I'm not sure about,
That's what you told us. You sent us a letter on March 11, 2016, addressed to myself and Chairman McClintock. And you said on December 16, 2025, the Commonwealth's attorney moved to not prosecute the charges of aggravated malicious wounding and brandishing a firearm by Mr. Morales Ortiz. So you had to let him out, didn't you?
Through a court order by a judge, yes, I did.
You had to let him out.
I was ordered to release him by a judge.
I see you got some of your deputies behind. How's morale in your department, Sheriff? Is it good?
I didn't know I was here to talk about morale, sir, but based on
You're here to answer the questions we ask you. That's what you're here for. Yeah.
Of course I am.
Okay.
But I'm also here to talk about what I was invited here to talk about.
Well, I'll refer you to a statement you made in August. Fairfax County Sheriff Stacy Kincaid, Democrat, also told 7 News reporter Nick Minnick, "It's shameful the way things have not been prosecuted." Stand by that statement?
If that's what was written, I do.
No, I'm not asking if that's what's written. I'm saying, did you say that, and do you stand by that? And is that having an impact on morale? Because most of the police departments I know and sheriffs and deputies that I know, when they get the bad guys off the street, they like to see them prosecuted so they don't come back on the street, harm the community you're supposed to protect, and make their job tougher because they got to go get them again when they commit some other crime. That's why I asked the morale question in light of your statement just a few months ago, where you said it's shameful that the guy beside you is not prosecuting people.
I did.
You said that?
I did.
Okay, good. Mr. Descano, why'd you change your website?
Discummo.
So first of all, let me address what you had said.
No. You answered the questions
about-
we asked. You answered the questions we asked. I asked a simple question. Why did you change your website last month?
Well, sir, your statements about don't want to prosecute guys is absolutely false. And my policies so far in this hearing.
Are you saying what the sheriff wrote me is wrong?
No, what I'm saying is that the way that my policies have been
December 16th
presented in this
you
are
chose
outrageous.
She said the Commonwealth's attorney, that's you, chose not to prosecute Mr. Morales Ortiz on December 16th, and they had to release him. They had to do their job because you wouldn't prosecute. What happened on December 17th, Mr. Descano?
Well, sir, let's talk about December 16th.
No, that's the question. What happened on December 17th?
Sir,
This same guy murdered somebody. This guy murdered somebody, and I'm asking you, why did you change your website?
Well, do you not want me to talk to you about the actual case?
I want you to answer the first question I said.
Which was about the case.
Why did you change your website?
Well, sir, because the website is not my policy. My policy.
My policy.
I think the voters might be interested in that. This is your campaign website where you said our office will take immigration consequences into account when making charging and plea decisions. Immigration consequences were certainly part of the game here, part of the issue here with Mr. Morales Ortiz.
No, they weren't.
You decided
they absolutely
not to
were not. You are assuming something that is in fact untrue, because you are misrepresenting my policies. My policies do not say that we do not prosecute people.
Well, if you're proud of your policies, why'd you change your website?
Because that's not my policy. As I told you, sir, that is a campaign statement that I made before I was Commonwealth.
It had been up for 6 years. A week after we send you a letter saying we want you to come testify, shazam, you change it.
Because I could not.
Is that coincidental?
Because I could not believe that people were so obtuse that they could not realize what the difference between a campaign statement and an actual office policy is.
So when you make campaign statements, those aren't true? You're not being honest with your voters?
That's not what I'm saying at all, sir.
Sure sounded like it.
Sure
sounded like it.
It's absolutely not. What I'm saying is that when you
still haven't told me why you took it. You still haven't told me why you took it down.
Because I was hoping to come here to talk about my office policies, not be distracted by a campaign statement that was a year before I was actually Commonwealth's Attorney General and had any cases that were mine.
This is almost laughable. This is your policy. You said it right here. You told the voters, if you elect me, I will take into account immigration consequences when making charging and plea decisions.
This is my policy, not what you have in your hand.
Oh, okay. So what you said to the voters is not real. Doesn't count.
No, sir, what I'm saying is that as an office holder,
I just
my
find it
office
interesting.
is run by my policy.
Your sheriff said you wouldn't prosecute. This guy gets released, kills someone the next day. We start asking about it. You change your website and take down the statements that say you're going to take into account immigration consequences when you decide
My
what
policy
you
is
are going
public,
to
and it
charge.
has been public the entire time I've been in office, sir.
This guy, DeScummo, they need to find something to charge him with federally. They need to go after him. He needs to go to jail. This guy's the biggest scumbag in the world. More people have been murdered and hurt and raped because of his decision not to charge people who are illegal aliens simply so they don't get deported. It's insane. It's insane. Yeah. So illegal alien and Salvadoran national Marvin Morales Ortiz, who has a long criminal history, is now charged with murder again.
ICE is telling us not only was this suspect illegally in the country, they had put a detainer on him that was not honored. In addition, it turns out he's been charged with multiple crimes in the past, including murder, seemingly with no consequences. Police spent a long time investigating at the home where this happened on
Soros is
Wednesday
paying him.
afternoon, and there are a lot of questions about why the crime
Soros is
was
paying
ever
him.
allowed to happen and why the suspect was free.
Yeah, he's a pathetic turd
This
that lies.
is very shocking, that this happened in a neighborhood that's supposed to be safe.
Brian Del Cid lives very close to the home where the homicide happened. He says what's also shocking is that suspected shooter Marvin Morales Ortiz had just been released from jail less than 24 hours before allegedly using this gun to shoot and kill a man.
It is very upsetting that he literally just got out yesterday.
Police remained on the scene investigating Wednesday night. The crime happened inside this home on Fanshell Court in Reston. Until Tuesday, Morales Ortiz had been in jail facing charges for allegedly brandishing a gun and assaulting and injuring someone. He was released when the Fairfax County Commonwealth's Attorney's Office decided to drop the case. They told us in a statement, prosecutors were unable to move forward with the case because the victim told police that they were out of the country and would not be coming to court to cooperate in proceedings. Sadly, without the victim's necessary testimony, we could not move forward with the case. But this is not the first time the County Commonwealth's Attorney's Office has chosen not to press charges against Morales Ortiz. Court records indicate since 2020, he's been charged with at least 7 crimes, including first-degree murder back in 2021. And every single time but one, prosecutors at some point decided not to move forward. The one time he was found guilty for a theft, he was fined, but records show he never paid it.
And everything the police do to stop criminals is for naught because they're just turned back out on the streets.
Sean Kennedy with Virginians for Safe Communities is a frequent critic of Fairfax County Commonwealth's attorney, Steve Descano.
DeScummo.
This is
DeScummo.
An outlier. This is the rule of thumb for this office. This individual was likely to commit more crimes. They knew it and they didn't care.
It appears Fairfax County Police were concerned when Morales Ortiz was released on Tuesday. They say there was an emergency order to take him back into custody, but unfortunately, they weren't able to find him before the homicide happened here on Wednesday.
Wow. Before the homicide happened, they weren't able to find him. Wow. That's just horrible. It's intentional, I believe. Yeah. Soros is paying for all this. This is all Soros. Come on. Really? Why? What the fuck? Won't exit full screen? They've learned that Ortiz, who's accused of killing someone a day after being released, is in the country illegally and faced numerous previous charges, including being charged in a separate murder. Border Hawk says illegal alien with significant criminal history in Virginia, including prior murder charge, has been arrested for shooting a man to death just hours after being released from jail. Sanctuary politicians of Fairfax County have blood on their hands. The day after they refused to hand over Marvin Ferrando Morales, a criminal illegal alien from El Salvador.
We have just learned that the man accused of pulling the trigger in a deadly shooting just one day after he was released from jail is here in the country illegally. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Scott Thuman. On your screen right now is 23-year-old Marvin Morales Ortez. Fairfax County police say he shot and killed a man inside a Reston home today. And tonight, our Tom Rousey dug into Ortez's lengthy criminal history and found out this is not the first time he's been accused of murder. He also has new information that we just confirmed with ICE that you are hearing first on 7 News.
ICE is telling us not only was this suspect illegally in the country, they had put a detainer on him that was not honored. In addition, it turns out he's been charged with multiple crimes in the past, including murder, seemingly with no consequences. Police spent a long time investigating at the home where this happened on Wednesday afternoon, and there are a lot of questions about why the crime was ever allowed to happen and why the suspect was free.
This is very shocking, that this happened in a neighborhood that's supposed to be safe.
Brian Del Cid lives very close to the home where the homicide happened. He says what's also shocking is that suspected shooter Marvin Morales Ortez had just been released from jail less than 24 hours before allegedly using this gun to shoot and kill a man.
It is very upsetting that he literally just got out yesterday.
Police remained on the scene investigating Wednesday night. The crime happened inside this home on Fanshell Court in Reston.
Yep. Sure did. I swear I had, I know I saw it somewhere. I swear they had his stuff and it was classified and they did have him listed as a white male. Anyway, whatever. In Fulton County, Georgia, on Tuesday, Bursain Martinez Lopez was arrested for child molestation. He has an immigration detainer hold. Look at this white male child molester. Got to get rid of these whites named Bursain Martinez Lopez, who was arrested for child molestation. Yeah, seems like they're still labeling illegals as white, skewing the crime data. Getting to wonder about Sheriff Shady Grady's mental health after his statement that we should give illegals amnesty because they're just here seeking a better life. You have children, Polk County Sheriff? Yeah, yeah, I think Grady has an issue with that. I don't understand his dealio with that. In Chatham County, North Carolina, illegal alien Eleanor Serrano was arrested for multiple counts of indecent liberties with a child. It's all a setup by white supremacists. He just came here for a better life. Yep, Gary Geets, you're right. Hello, everyone. The problem is we have no accountability for public servants. They do as they please. Yes. What happened in England today? Well, those protests, right, were all about the rape gangs, right? I mean, I saw some stuff, but I wasn't sure exactly what was, I didn't have any stories for it. Yeah. I wish it would just tell us the shade or percentage of pigment white begins at. Yeah, something. They should have like that chart. You know that chart that they always show, like that came, I think it was from Family Guy, where they showed the picture and it was like what color your skin was and if you're a terrorist or not, type of thing. Court documents say he's been previously removed from the U.S. Got to hold all the leaders responsible for their actions. That's right. Yeah. So this guy right here. Yeah. Indecent liberties with a child. Violent offense hold. Says he's been in says he's lived in North Carolina 8 years. Wow. Wow. Wow, that's crazy. Oh, come on. Franklin County, Virginia, in April, illegal alien Jorge Enrique Garcia Rodriguez was arrested for forcible intercourse with a victim under 13. Hey, what's up, Joe? They need armbands, something. Yeah, this one was close to home for you. Yeah. Black armbands and white armbands, depending on percentage of pigment. I despise the sanitized titling of that charge, right? Well, that's what they do. They don't want people to know how evil these people are. You know, they don't want people to know how evil they really are. Or A or B. He's been charged with 6 counts of possession of child porn. Mm-hmm. Yeah. May 1st, they charged him with 6 felony charges of possession of child porn. In April, he was arrested for sexual abuse of a minor. Yeah, he says he's a male, and he's got an ICE detainer. Like, I personally think these people that do this stuff should get the there's like a thing that I think should happen. It's coming to my mind. I might think of it. I'm trying to think. They must be chemically castrated or they'll continue to reoffend. Even if they're ported, they'll continue to offend no matter where they are on Earth. Every male of military age that Biden let into the U.S. illegally should be forced to provide a DNA sample when arrested. Number of rapes and sexual exploitation of women and children committed by this criminal legal alien demographic is staggering. Yeah, well, they did discover there was a guy who, like, they just caught some guy. There was a guy who was just caught that was like a serial rapist that was like years they were looking for him. Don't worry, the Long Beach Pride Fest is this weekend. Oh, wait, they forgot to get the permit and it's canceled. Obviously, it was Trump's fault. Well, that's funny. Yes, great tan it is. Eye on the prize. As someone that loves Jesus, when do we go and teach others this is not okay? Well, there's things you could do. There's a tool that you could use that would teach people it's not okay. It would be like the permanent solution, let's say. Maybe it would be final. Chatham County, North Carolina, on Monday, Walter Armadias Morales de Paz was arrested for multiple counts of soliciting a child by computer and is accused of soliciting sex from a 13-year-old girl via WhatsApp. Yeah. Yeah, there's something like, give them enough rope and they'll hang themselves, is the saying. If it were Trump's fault somehow, that'd be just one more reason I voted for him. Yes, weed whacker. That would work. Definitely. This guy DePaz has previously dismissed charges of sexual battery and assault on a female. So I wonder, why would they dismiss the charges that he did this before? So this guy supposedly has lived there 9 years, they're claiming. Lives with family. So, but it says family, immediate family and local area. Yes. Family location, out of country. Lives with family, significant other. This doesn't make any sense. Citizen, no. He says he's employed. Who does he work for? Go arrest the people he's working for. Go arrest the people he's. Morales, DePaz, Walter Armandando. Go arrest the people he's working for. Another one the Dems are fighting for. They couldn't even stand and say they represent American citizens over people like this. Not one of them stood. Demon Rat should never hold power again. Suwannee County, Florida. In March, Jorge Cuevas Torres was arrested for sexual assault and lewd and lascivious behavior. Hey, what's up, absent minded? What fuckery's afoot tonight? Well, we're gonna be doing hey, FFS. What did we get raided from FFS? Is that what happened? They raid-nated us? Hey, they did. Well, thanks. Thanks for the Rizzy Diddy raid. We're doing some illegal alien crime stuff right now. Is what we're doing. You saw the story on KTLA. The organizers are blaming everyone because they forgot to get the permits. Well, it is what it is. So, look at look at that face. That's a face that just says lewd and lascivious behavior. No bond, ice hold, another one. White male, though. He's a white male. It says right here, W male. What do you know? That's a white male. Cool. Awesome. Great. Grand. Groovy. Needs to head to sanctuaries, Martha's Vineyards, the Cape, Beacon Hill, where no human is illegal. Yeah. Skewing the crime data by labeling white. White male, pumpkin-headed, Asian-eyed, okay, I'm not going to read all that. Florida marks Latinx as white, partly because Cubans identify. Okay. Biden voters committed this sexual assault. See, we need armbands. I think you're right. What channel is FFS? That's the channel that is Cynic's channel. He co-hosts. He's a friend of mine. He co-hosts with Joe on Wednesday nights. Another evil white man. Yeah, Gary Geets, you're right. And I'm a ghost until I tan. Yeah. Please hit the like button. Yes. An unborn child died following shooting at a gas station in Texas last week that's led to the arrest of 2 illegal aliens, at least one of whom was unleashed in the U.S. by the Biden regime as an unaccompanied minor. Here's a white male. Yeah, look at his name is Kaner Calderoni. And another white male whose name is Yeremi Zapatalaman. The 2 illegals charged with murdering unborn baby in Texas. How many are too many? The death of 22-year-old Natalie Rosanet's unborn child in May 2026 could have been prevented. Natalie was a passenger in her boyfriend's car while leaving a 7-Eleven parking lot. She was shot by 2 illegals who had argued with her boyfriend. Natalie survived, but her child was shot in the head and died. Yes. FFS is very gay, bottom-feeding internet drama content. Yeah, it is, but they don't deny it. He doesn't deny it. Yes, of course, white, of course. There's white and extra white. Yes. They were training to be abortion doctors. Yes, these are just future abortion doctors. The Democrats will tell you, let them out. They're already good at it. The illegals were a 17 and 20-year-old. One of the illegals was encountered by Border Patrol in the Rio Grande Valley in December 2022 after unlawfully entering from Mexico. Apparently, he was released. Natalie was 22 weeks pregnant. Legal aliens killed 13,000 Americans in 2024. The total number of homicides in the U.S. in 2024 was 20,162. That's 64% of all murders. This is why I support ICE. Super Chat is messing around. I don't know. Maybe did they shut off my Super Chats or something? Who knows? I don't know. They're all white. They're all white. Everyone's white. Yeah. Jail for one, deportation for the other. Yeah. So let's read this story. From Border Hawk News. Border Hawk News. Two illegals charged with murdering unborn baby in Texas shooting. An unborn child died following a shooting at a gas station in Texas last week. The arrest of 2 illegal aliens. YouTube has been super glitchy the past week, and I'm getting the censorship message, and I'm not trying anything remotely bad. That's weird. I don't have any like settings on it, so I don't know. They're going to search in a car. Officers found illegal firearms, cocaine, and MDMA. Ariel Calaro Giron and Jeremy Zapata Ellerman were taken into custody. One of the victims, a pregnant 17-year-old girl, was rushed to the hospital and the baby died following a C-section. Wow. It was a blessing for us, and they took it away from us. The girl's grandmother told Fox 4 they're going to live with that for the rest of their lives. They destroyed their own lives because they're young. I don't care what they do to them. If they give them the death penalty, it's not going to bring the baby back. It doesn't matter what. My baby's not coming back. Calderon Giron was hit with 9 charges: capital murder, 5 felony aggravated assault charges, evading arrest, possession of cocaine, lawful carrying of a weapon. Zapata Alaman faces 7 charges: capital murder, 5 felony aggravated assault charges, and possession of cocaine. Additionally, ICE has lodged detainers against both suspects, who are both in the U.S. illegally. Calero Giron entered the country in 2022 as an unaccompanied minor from Nicaragua and was released by the Biden regime. Zapata Alaman is reported to be a citizen of Honduras, but the circumstances under which he entered the country have not been made public. Maybe they don't know. Maybe he snuck across. These monsters shot multiple people and killed an unborn baby. Acting DHS Secretary Lauren Bliss said they now face multiple felony charges, including homicide and aggravated assault. This is an unspeakable crime, and these criminal illegal aliens should never have been in our country in the first place. It's kind of hard to argue with that. That baby would be alive if it wasn't for Joe Biden killed this baby. Let's be clear. Joe Biden, by what he did, is the reason this baby is dead. How many babies are dead because of Joe Biden? A lot. How many people are dead because of Joe Biden? Clearly a lot. If they said that in 2024, 60% of the murders were illegal aliens, that's a lot of homicides. That's a lot. That's a lot of din. Like, then basically you've got, the other demographic that's, wow. Wow. ICE asked officials in Dallas not to release these murderers back on the streets. Thankfully, Dallas cooperates with ICE. So together, our partners will ensure these criminals never again terrorize communities. Yes. Joe Biden has a doctor's excuse. Oh, look, it's testing. Thank you. Wow, that's first super chat of the evening. First donation of the evening. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. With that means, folks, we are now just $90 away from adding a first additional hour to the show and only $40 away from Bellavision. Wow. Thank you so much. Yes, Renee says, hello, FFS Peace. Is Sin with you? Sin, who knows what Sin's up to? Sin might be sleeping or something. Yes, thank you so much, Fletcher Boy. Thank you. It is ICE arrest, double murderer, child sex predators, arsonist in one day. ICE captures illegal Indian that charged in hit and run that nearly killed a 4-year-old boy. Test number 2 from Sharkman. Thank you so much, Sharkman. Wow. With that means we are now just $85 away from adding a first additional hour to the show and only $35 away from Bellavision. Bellavision. Yeah, so right now the Cash App one's up there, but I could change that and put the PayPal one up there if anyone wants to donate with PayPal. They're also pinned in the chat. Jeremy Burtzart, what's up? Great to see you. Thanks for stopping by. B-Job Secure, what's up, man? Great to see you. You had to restart YouTube? I don't know. Something's going on. Something's going wrong. It's just crazy what's going on. So these are all things happening. Here's Terry with a 5. Thank you so much, Terry. Wow. That means, folks, we are now just $80 away from adding a first additional hour to the show and just $30 away from Bellavision. Thanks, everybody, for being so generous. Okay. There was a Microsoft update that's doing typical Microsoft crap. That's what I think it is. That's what I think it is, but I'm not 100% sure. There was something, I was doing something earlier today, and then all of a sudden, like, Chrome started acting weird, and it said, oh, Chrome just updated. And then it started doing this. So I don't know if it was Chrome or if it's something else, or maybe I need to restart my computer or something for something to update properly. I don't know. So illegal alien, a Pedro Mondragon Ramirez has pleaded guilty to 2 counts of murder and was sentenced to 50 years. This is the thing. Undocumented illegal alien admits to killing his girlfriend and unborn child in Rock Hill. But you might go, well, wait, well, what's this? Well, because it's like something, it's like you got to go way up here and find out all this stuff, like how long this was. There's Dapper Detective pregnant. It just happened back in a year ago. This guy's been here a year screwing around. Will Massey's Apex stunt help him win? Will he go full Al Sharpton and blame them Jews? I've seen polling that says he's losing. I've seen polling that says he's okay. Yes, what's up, Rumblers? How's it going? Rumble Mobile just isn't great. I don't want to grab my MacBook stuck with the YouTube on the iPad. Oh, it's okay. Thanks, Fletcher Boy. So here, let's see. We'll listen to this real quick. But this guy just pleaded guilty.
A woman who was stabbed to death by her partner was pregnant. Officers responded to a home in Iris Circle Friday night and found 37-year-old Leonore Alpizar with multiple stab wounds. She died at the hospital, and officers have identified Pedro Mondragon Ramirez as a suspect, and they say the stabbing stemmed from a relationship quarrel. Mondragon Ramirez was initially charged with murder, but after learning the victim was pregnant, officials recently issued another charge of death or injury of a child in utero due to the commission of a violent crime.
How about just fucking murder?
Being held
How about just murder?
As a fugitive from South Carolina. A woman who was
How about just murder? How about just murder? Yeah. He was been arrested in connection with stabbing death of Leonore Alpizar, who was pregnant. Yeah. Probably classified as another white male. Sure. Mm-hmm. Definitely a white guy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, look, he's got this head shaved like a white guy. So that's how they're calling him white. Mm-hmm. I'd advance me declare anyone who collects over 20 years of prison time unfit for society, resulting in the death penalty. I'll give that a like. I think I agree. I concur. Mm-hmm. Illegal alien Adolfo Ruiz Vasquez Santana was sentenced to 121 months in federal prison for child pornography. But the Times editors don't want you to know that. Soto's Times editors don't want you to know that. Am I ready for Windows 12? I don't know. I'm ready for just have a computer that works. You would think if you spend like $12,000 on a computer, it would work, right? You would think, right? That's his kindergarten picture, probably. Yeah, look, it says South Haven man sentenced for child pornography. Oh, yeah. Let's see. U.S. attorneys Scott Leary and Homeland Investigations today that a Mexican national illegally in the United States, so illegal alien, was sentenced to 120 months in prison, 5 years supervised release, and $14,000 in restitution for knowingly distributing and receiving visual depictions of a minor engaged in sexually explicit conduct. Adolfo Rual Vasquez Santana of South Haven, Mississippi. No, he's of fucking Mexico. He's not of South Haven, Mississippi. He's not of South Haven, Mississippi. He's a fucking Mexican national. That's what it says right there. He's an illegal alien. He's not of anywhere here. Mm-hmm. They got a tip they received from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and the HSI determined he was illegally present in the U.S. A U.S. District Court Judge Sharian Aycock sentenced him and required him to pay $14,000 to the victims. Mm-hmm. I hate this that they do this stuff. You know, I love the spiciness of these recent posts. Always excellent work. Yes. Oh, look. There's more. See? Oh, it says he's Hispanic. Oh, good. This one says Hispanic. Oh, well. All right. Now let's get into the nitty gritty. We're going to have the top 25 rundown of the cases of the last couple weeks. I know you guys like this. You guys are big fans. He doesn't have 40 grand. I got hooked on Apple years ago because of Pro Tools for recording music. Just stuck with it. Now I'm stuck with it. A lot of people say Apple's the best. I don't know. Price wise, man. Who wrote Not Connected? Yeah, I don't know. So we have Pulaski County, Arkansas, a man detainer arrested for crash that killed 3. Georgia, a man arrested for homicide by vehicle in Georgia. Montana, a legal alien was arrested for raping a late girlfriend's daughter. Cassidy lost his primary. Good. Miami-Dade, man and detainer arrested for attempted murder. Montgomery County, Ohio, man previously detainer wanted for vehicular homicide. Telephone line. I'm confused now. You mean doesn't have 40 grand for a telephone line? Davidson County, 2 illegal aliens charged with teen girls abduction. Wisconsin, Dane County, alien charged with sexually assaulting the elderly. Dallas County, Texas, legal alien killed by citizen in carjacking attempt. ELO. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good song. ELO, Electric Light Orchestra. So serial rapist was arrested in Marion County, Indiana. Serial rapist. So man on detainer arrested for brother's murder. So he's killed his own brother. Steve Cohen is not running for re-election in Tennessee. Yeah, he decided that he didn't want to run. He's going to, because I think the reason he dropped out is because he knows he's going up against a black woman, for a Republican black woman. So he didn't want that, they're going to run around and say that they're stripping the voice away from black people, but yet a black woman is running against a white old Democrat man. So it doesn't look good. So they're probably going to try to push somebody else of color to run against the woman. Suffolk County, New York, man and detainer arrested for shooting death. Effingham County, Georgia, illegal alien accused of deadly DUI crash. Marion County, Indiana, illegal alien pleads guilty to brutal attack and rape. Tulsa County, Oklahoma, man on detainer accused of shooting death. Pinellas County, Florida, woman on detainer blamed for son's death. Charlotte County, Florida, illegal alien accused of raping teen girl. What percentage of black is she? As far as I could tell, the pictures that I've seen of women running, she's not like, she doesn't look like Nigerian black, but she looks like average, American, not like, I don't know. She's not Derek Jeter black, but she's not Wesley Snipes black. Does that make sense? Or, she's like, she looked like maybe Carl Weathers black. Does that make sense? Broward County, Florida, man at detainer arrested for attempted murder. I'm trying to be as careful as possible. But I have to talk to Ank when he asks. I have to answer his questions. Oh my God, newsflash, Schlitz Brewing shut down. You serious? So no more Schlitz malt liquor? Malt liquor? No more bull? No more. Wow. That's why we need armbands. Yeah. Nassau County, New York, a man on detainer for killing 2 women. Like Snickers or Almond Joy? I don't know. Maybe. None. Wow. San Francisco, illegal alien arrested for hospital stabbing death. So he's saying Schlitz is closed down. So no more Schlitz. No more shits. No more Schlitz. More liquor. Yeah. Marshall County, Alabama, legal alien charged with child pornography. King Cobra is the favorite malt liquor now. What about 8 Ball? The 8 Ball zipping, the bitches are flipping. Continue my tripping, run about me zipping. Marion County, Indiana, Honduran teens arrested for road rage shooting. Don't taste that bad, actually. There is different, like when I was in the Navy, I had a very good friend. I'm not going to say his name, but we took a trip and to visit his brother and his brother's wife and stuff. And they had 2 different types of Schlitz malt liquor. They had red, not Red Bull, not the energy drink Red Bull, but it was like a red can of the Bull and then a blue can of the Bull. Like, and one of them was like a higher alcohol content than the other one. I don't remember. It was so long ago. But man, it messed you up. Sylvia says, hello, I don't get a notification. You don't show live. LG list. I don't know, man. Why, we used to put Chambord in Zima. Yuck, Ort leaves. 175 years of brewing beer ended today. So I'm sorry, Sylvia, that you didn't get a notification. Are you sure you got the bells checked and all that? You're saying it still didn't even show that I'm live? Well, am I live or am I memorized? What is going on? I don't know. YouTube has been messing with me. They just don't want me to know that they don't want people to know I'm live. They're messing with me. Everything is turned on. The big O or leaves. So let's see. Look at all these people. I remember we saw this guy with the weird fit with his eye over there. Like, I don't know if that's from the car accident he was in. It's not only you, Jim. Yeah, okay. Zima was okay before they changed the recipe. Yeah, I remember drinking Zima and it tasted all right. You know, I remember drinking it. It wasn't bad. The bar Schlitz signs along the roads. Yeah. Unsubscribe and resubscribe again. MAGA for the win says. Milwaukee's going insane. Milwaukee used to be a fun place. With his eyes over there. Yeah. Send them all home. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Maybe got a couple women in there. So here we go. Pulaski County, Arkansas. Man, a detainer was arrested for crash that killed 3. Man accused of hit and run that killed a mother and 2 young children. I think we might have saw this one when the night it happened.
Good evening. We begin tonight with new details in a deadly hit and run in Pulaski County that killed a mother and her 2 young children.
Yeah, I think I
State
remember.
police arrested 33-year-old Victor Reyes yesterday on 3 counts of negligent homicide. Tonight, Channel 7 News is asking whether Reyes is in the country illegally.
Yes.
Channel 7's Chris Gay tells us that an ICE hold has been placed on the suspect. He joins us now here in our studio with more on what that means. Chris?
That's right, Chris and Beth. I first asked Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, what is an ICE hold? A spokesperson
What is an ICE hold?
told me that if there is a hold, that individual is undocumented. But an immigration attorney from Fayetteville says it's not that simple.
ICE is asking a local jail to hold an individual who they suspect might be removable from the United States.
Immigration attorney Nathan Bogart says that an individual can be placed on an ICE hold for a number of reasons.
It could be because they're present unlawfully. It could be that they're present lawfully, but they've done something to violate the terms of their status.
But what about Victor Reyes, who's now suspected of killing 31-year-old Brianna Hall and her 2 sons, 4-year-old Dax Barnes and 2-year-old Dice Love, in a Sunday night car crash in Pulaski County? Why was he facing an ICE hold? I showed up to the Department of Homeland Security office in Little Rock to find out, but left with no clear answer. So I spoke to his attorney.
As far as being in the country, I do not believe he has legal status here.
Oh,
James also answered my question about why a hold had been placed on his client.
If somebody is arrested and they are believed to be illegal, a lot of times ICE will put a hold on them. And you're not going to get an ICE hold unless you're in custody. But in today's climate, it's a little more common. And certainly we've seen it where people bonded that one, had made their bond, and then ICE took them, and we never saw them again.
According to arrest reports, Reyes had a criminal history on the roadways. In 2016, he pled guilty to his first DWI charge. And in 2023, Reyes pled guilty to DWI in the 2nd degree.
Yeah, so DWI in the 2nd degree. So very interesting. Now, stop. What is happening? Why is this acting so crazy today? Yeah, so Barrow County, Georgia, man and detainer arrested for homicide by vehicle. Jose Emilio Peralta Villafana was arrested by homicide by vehicle. He has an immigration detainer hold. This guy killed somebody, ran him over. White male, of course. Misdemeanor operating unregistered vehicle, following too closely, criminal alien tracking and reporting, homicide by vehicle, 2nd degree misdemeanor. So wait a minute, homicide by vehicle is a 2nd degree misdemeanor? What? How is that fucking possible that you kill somebody with a car and it's a 2nd degree misdemeanor? How is that? What's up, Spuds? You show green now? Weird. Hey, Tiberius, great to see you. And I don't show green also, but I have a membership. Let me clear my cache. I'll be right back. A car is a weapon. Yeah. Maybe you were gifted. Yes. What's up, Lady Bama? I don't get this. How is it possible that you could be charged with a misdemeanor for killing someone? Homicide by vehicle is a misdemeanor. Wow. Flathead County, Montana, illegal alien arrested for raping late girlfriend's daughter. And a Venezuelan illegal alien unleashed into the U.S. by the Biden regime has been charged with committing heinous crimes against a child in his care in Montana. This is nuts. This is just plain nuts, man. Venezuelan illegal alien unleashed in the U.S. by Biden has been charged with committing heinous crimes against a child in his care. Yeah, homicide and misdemeanor equals shit. You ain't kidding. Must be a Democrat state. That was Georgia. That was Georgia. A misdemeanor for homicide by vehicle. I can't believe Georgia's up to stuff like that. That's just crazy. That is just crazy. Crazy. It's just nuts. Homeland Security just released immigration details on Walter, who's Jesus Travioso Sota. In May, Flathead County sheriffs launched an investigation into him after receiving disturbing information and evidence from his deceased girlfriend's sister. Funny, they keep lowering the penalties for crimes and crimes get worse, right? Yeah, they keep doing it. They keep letting people out, and then they wonder why it just keeps getting worse and worse. Girlfriend died in a car accident in 2024. The scumbag illegal took custody of her 3 children that were not related to him. How is that possible? The children's aunt fought for guardianship, but he reportedly prevented her from seeing them and even sought a restraining order against her. The aunt became concerned about the relationship when the children, after seeing photos of him kissing and holding the eldest girl in a romantic manner. Soto reportedly showered the girl with gifts and flowers and commented on her social media posts with heart emojis. After the aunt gained guardianship, her eldest niece stated that Soto had raped her on multiple occasions, even choked her while she was on the phone with a boy. Yes, Tina Peters will be free on June 1st. Yes, that's a good thing. Anyways, good evening, everyone. Well, good evening to you, too. I'm just glad you made it here. FCSO reportedly provided with photos and videos depicting Soto making inappropriate physical contact with the child, and following a forensic interview, he was arrested. He's been charged with sexual intercourse without consent with a child under 16 and strangulation of a partner or family member. Why wouldn't it just be like forcible rape? This monster repeatedly raped a child of a dead girlfriend. He now faces felony charges of sexual intercourse without consent. ICE is asking officials in Montana to turn this perverted criminal over to ICE so that they can get him off the streets and out of our country. With cooperation of local partners, we will ensure this predator never harms another innocent child. I mean, here's the problem, though. If they just, yes, it's horrible, terrible. If they just deport him and he comes back in, it doesn't, I mean, the only way, he needs to be deported to CCOT or Gitmo or wood chipper. And Trump said they weren't sending their best. Yeah, remember? And they all called him a racist and a xenophobe and all that stuff. Yes, a shark feeding contest participant. Yes, definitely. Cocaine sharks. Cocaine sharks. I keep saying castration, then deportation. Follow this method, and Satan's spawns will never hurt childs again. That's right. Never again. Miami-Dade County, a man on detainer arrested for attempted murder. Last month, Haitian National Herald Saintville was arrested for attempted murder after stabbing. He has an immigration detainer hold. Wow. He's got like the reverse Jack Murphy going on or something, right? Or is that the Jack Murphy beard? Okay. Black male. I wasn't sure. Murder in the second degree. Deadly weapon battery. 5'6", 190 pounds. That's a stocky dude. They traveled to Miami Gardens. Upon arrival, the suspect approached the victim in the roadway and stabbed him several times. Blank witness was interviewed and stated he was present during the incident. Advised the victim and suspect had argued earlier in the evening, and that upon arrival in front of suspect's residence, the victim was yelling in the street. Sedoni stated the suspect went inside the residence, returned moments later armed with a knife, and stabbed him in front of witnesses. Haitians will do stuff like that. Haitians will be stabbing. And deporting him is fine after he pays for his crimes. Yes. Castro emptied his prisons and put him on boats to Florida. That's what the CCOT. I like that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All connected. It is. That's why Maduro released all his people too. Montgomery County, Ohio. A man previously on a detainer wanted for vehicular homicide. So this is the guy right here we saw with he killed this woman, or maybe is that a woman? I don't know. So this guy was wanted for a vehicular homicide 2024 crash. So this guy had a detainer. I remember this one. This guy had a detainer, was arrested, and they just let him go. He ran a red light, killing a 8-year-old woman. And they asked about his immigration status in video. He says he's aware of it, but declines to elaborate. So yeah, this guy.
At about 3:20 in the morning, we.
I don't know. Why is it doing this?
At about 3:20 in the morning, we did have a fatal crash at the intersection of Stanley Avenue and Webster Street, where one person, a 68-year-old female, was deceased at the scene. She had stopped in to get a snack from the store and then was just heading to work right there at the Molly, waiting on the traffic light. And then an individual coming from Webster Street ran the red light. We know that due to the video footage we have obtained, striking that particular car, killing the driver, and then ultimately leaving on foot, fleeing from the scene. We are aware of his immigration status, and again, this is something that's not necessarily relevant to the traffic investigation and the crash, so that's something that somebody else will ultimately have to discuss. At about 3.
Yeah, and then they ended up. So he's asked about his status. All right, well, let's see here. So it appears charges against him were dropped, and he was released from custody. That's all the information we have. Yeah, so they just let him go. He vanished from the roster after they dropped the charges. Charges were refiled, but he's on the run. He's wanted for vehicular homicide. When I first reported his case, the charges were dropped shortly after. They were refiled last year. So now they're looking for him. Not sure if you heard, but apparently there's no evidence that illegal immigrants commit crimes. And actually, it's Americans who are the criminals. Yeah, I just saw it on CNN, so you're wrong. They dropped the charges, yes. So they dropped the charges for some reason. And then they didn't want him to get deported, so they dropped the charges. Davidson County, North Carolina, 2 illegal aliens charged with teen girls abduction. Wow.
Lindsay, after some back and forth with attorneys, the judge ultimately raised the bond to $1 million each for Samir Ruiz and Rafael Marino. The district attorney present also said the state is looking to press more charges based on new evidence. The DA says a social worker told the Davidson County Sheriff's Office that they were worried about one of their clients who is a Honduran refugee. The 14-year-old reportedly told the social worker that they were staying with people they did not know and heading on a bus to Georgia, but didn't want to share share more details. That's when deputies went to the Lexington home, but Ruiz and Marino wouldn't let them inside and slammed the door. When investigators returned with a search warrant, they found the teenager hiding under the kitchen sink in a cabinet, and Marino was in a closet. The DA says the home appeared to be temporary housing with one mattress on the floor and one TV and very little food or other furniture. Investigators seized electronics from the men and returned the child to safety. Both Ruiz and Marino face felony child abduction charges. The state intends to add human trafficking charges to that as well. The two men are also held on an ICE detainer, meaning their release wouldn't be authorized even if they make bond due to their illegal immigration status.
Evil people, evil people, evil people need to be punished. If we don't start punishing the evil people will continue to punish all us. Evil is allowed to persist when good men do nothing. Dane County, Wisconsin, alien accused of sexually assaulting the elderly.
The Immigration and Customs Enforcement is asking the Dane County Court to not release Julio Morales Jarquin from jail after the Department of Homeland Security confirmed he is in the country illegally. Morales Jarquin is currently facing 2 counts of second-degree sexual assault of an elderly woman at an assisted living facility in Fitchburg. Officials say he came to the U.S. back in 2023 from Nicaragua under the Biden administration's humanitarian parole program. After the Trump administration eliminated the parole program last year, Morales Jarquin stayed in the U.S. illegally. DHS Acting Assistant Secretary Lauren Biss released a statement saying, quote, DHS is calling on sanctuary politicians in Dane County, Wisconsin, to not release this criminal from jail back onto the streets to commit more crimes.
Dallas County, Texas, legal alien killed by a car citizen and carjacking attempt. Well, this is like a good, okay. Harris County, Texas, man charged with DUI manslaughter crash. Leonardo Josue Martinez Marquez has been charged with intoxication, manslaughter, a crash that injured one and killed a 24-year-old mother. GoFundMe for the family. Both charges were dismissed. He also has a criminal history in Harris County. In 2022 and 2025, he was arrested for DWI and interfere with emergency services. Both charges were dismissed. So they're just, that's a Soros DA dismissing the charges. Marion County, Indiana, legal alien identified as serial rapist.
A decade-long investigation into a series of sexual assaults leads to 30 felony charges filed against an accused serial rapist.
As Fox 59's Jesse Wells explains, prosecutors believe the suspect raped at least 5 women on Indy's north side.
Prosecutors say DNA evidence linked all 5 cases together for years, but that DNA did not match the suspect because his DNA wasn't in the system until it was recently collected by Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Starting in 2013, the Marion County Crime Lab collected DNA evidence after a woman was raped by a complete stranger inside her apartment. That same DNA profile was later linked to a second rape in 2015, along with 2 more assaults in 2016 and a 5th case in January 2024. The violent home invasions and assaults all took place in apartment complexes near 96th and College.
This is one of those cases, and the allegations contained in the probable cause affidavit are absolutely horrifying. We have completely innocent victims who were attacked.
According to court records, last month, DNA evidence tied Leonel Catalan Torreblanca, who investigators believe was in the country illegally, to all 5 crimes, leading to his arrest the same day he was identified.
Oh, he's a white male. What do you know?
My hope
Right there
is that today marks the beginning of healing and a step forward closure for these survivors and our community.
This affidavit claims when the suspect was questioned by police, he admitted his anger and frustration caused him to do what he did, adding, sometimes something bad takes over his body and makes him do bad things. Finally, the suspect made his initial court hearing here last week. He was being held on a $20,000 cash bond, but because of the new charges, prosecutors are seeking that bond amount be increased. Jesse Wells, Fox 59 News.
This stuff is so infuriating. Man and detainer arrested for brother's murder. This guy killed his brother. Rene Pena Diaz has been arrested for murder in connection with his brother, Jose Antonio Pena Diaz.
Highlands police charge a Greenville, South Carolina man with murder. 41-year-old Rene Diaz is accused of killing his brother, Jose Pena Diaz, who was reported missing from a home construction site in Jackson County. His body was found Wednesday. Rene Diaz is held without bond. The FBI and District Attorney's Office are assisting with the investigation.
It just keeps going. It just keeps going. It just keeps going. Suffolk County, New York, a man arrested for Honduran national indicted for murder in the shooting of Stephen Rocco.
And new tonight, a man has been indicted for murder in a deadly shooting behind a Huntington Station deli. Prosecutors say Carlos Castro shot and killed Stephen Rocco after an argument on Pulaski Road last month. Prosecutors say it was captured on surveillance video. They say Castro ran from the scene, changed his phone number, and tried to get out of the country, but was caught in Alabama. The 27-year-old now faces 25 years to life in prison if convicted. And new tonight, a man...
They have no best. Yeah. Something takes over his body, Modelo beer, something like that. Yep, they did not send their best. They never do. Effingham County, Georgia, illegal alien in a deadly DUI crash.
A Ludwig father driving along Old Augusta Road South passed away after another car crossed the center line and struck his vehicle. The Department of Homeland Security says the suspect crossed into the country illegally through the southern border back in December of 2023. A deadly head-on crash claimed the life of a Ludwig father, Michael Sharp, Friday just after 5 p.m. His wife, Crystal, didn't realize she was hearing it as it happened.
I was on the phone with him when it happened, actually. So I didn't know what was going on at first. When it happened, it just sounded like his earpiece was messing up.
The suspect, Jana May Joy Jansu Soy, Homeland Security says, came into the country illegally back in December of 2023. They say in part, quote, he was released into the country under the Biden administration completely unvetted. He failed to show up to his immigration proceedings, and an immigration judge issued him a final order of removal just 2 weeks before the crash. Effingham County Sheriff's Office said once they took the suspect to the hospital, he began acting unstable.
He was acting erratic at the hospital due to being an illegal alien and facing deportation.
And then when we found out that the guy was drunk and that he was a illegal immigrant and wasn't even supposed to be in this country, it was even harder for us. Because if he weren't here, then it wouldn't have happened.
Sharp's wife, Crystal, says her husband was a caring family man of 2 young children. She wants her community to remember him for being adventurous and loving the outdoors.
He was a lover of the woods and the water. Loved hunting, fishing, and getting the kids involved in all of that as well.
She says nothing will bring her husband back, but she wants the suspect to be held accountable.
I don't want him deported. I want him to stay here, and I want him to suffer the consequences of what he has done.
Jan Sasoy is being charged with homicide by vehicle, DUI, and other charges. Sharp's family has started a GoFundMe to help pay for funeral expenses, and that information can be found online at WTOC.com. In Effingham County, Stephanie Atkinson, WTOC News.
Yeah. I'll just say, the illegal aliens, you can just hold them responsible for being illegal aliens and kick them out. But the people that caused them to come were the Democrats. They need to be held accountable. He pleads guilty to brutal attack and rape, this guy. Was given 4.5 years for a brutal attack and rape. So just 4.5 years for a brutal attack and rape in 2024. Wow. He was armed with a box cutter, threatened multiple times to kill the woman. This guy tried to escape in handcuffs? Yes. Wow. He is found he exploited a child under 14 for sex. This guy should be in the, what's called the old chipperoo. Chipperee. Darwin and Ernesto Vasquez Barrios was arrested for murder. Was accused of shooting a man in the head on Sunday. Wow. Tulsa County, Oklahoma. Pinellas County, Florida. Woman on detainer blamed for son's deaths. Alejandra Segundo Cruz was arrested for aggravated manslaughter, accused of causing the death of her 2-year-old by leaving the child playing on the front lawn alone. And the child was killed after running in front of a truck driving by her home. Oh. There's media coverage. Mother blamed for toddler's death.
Yeah, Stacy, neighbors tell us they still remember that tragedy. 6 months later, they say this entire street was filled with heartbreak.
It was about 30 state police cars and the kid laying in the street rubbed off. It was really
I
bad.
hope so too, but I don't know.
Neighbors say they can't forget the tragedy behind this makeshift memorial outside a home in Pinellas County. The spot marks where Florida Highway Patrol says a 2-year-old boy was hit by a pickup truck on 49th Avenue North back in October.
The cars just constantly fly through there. It's a really bad situation.
Troopers say the child left a nearby home without a parent knowing and stepped directly into the path of the truck. The driver stayed on scene, but the child did not survive. Now, months later, arrest documents show the child's mother, Alejandra Segundo Cruz, is charged with child neglect causing great bodily harm. Investigators say she failed to protect the child from danger, allowing him to be unsupervised near a roadway.
I don't know why they were ever in front because they had a backyard. Keep your kids out of the street.
And according to the report, the mother was charged because
Right,
investigators
he said,
believe
right.
she should have known the risk of having a child unsupervised in the street.
Yeah, well, should have known. In this case, I'm surprised they booked her as Hispanic and not white.
Yeah, Stacey.
We got this one. Charlotte County, Florida. Illegal alien accused of raping a teen girl. Illegal alien Melkor. Wasn't that the name of the very evil person in Lord of the Rings? Like the first, like Sauron, like that big bad boss in the first age of Years of the Trees and stuff, and Tolkien's Silmarillion, whatever it's called. Accused of kidnapping or raping a 17-year-old girl after providing her with alcohol. Says legal alien Melkor Hernandez Alcatraz has been accused of raping and kidnapping a 17-year-old girl. Detectives interviewed Alcatraz, and he confessed to the allegations. Court documents state that the 17-year-old Guatemalan victim came to the U.S. a year ago on her own and works at a restaurant. So another illegal alien. So illegal aliens are not only victimizing, raping, and murdering Americans, they're also victimizing, raping, and murdering other illegal aliens. The victim was living with Hernandez Alcatraz and told investigators she had wanted to move to a new place due to his behavior, but was unable due to the cost. Legal alien arrest for kidnapping. Local news didn't look at the court documents, which appear to show the victim was an unaccompanied minor living with her alleged rapist.
A 44-year-old man is behind bars in Charlotte County, accused of kidnapping and sexually assaulting a teenage girl. Sunday morning, deputies responded to a 911 call reporting a sexual assault with injuries on South Broadway in Englewood. Investigators say Melkor Hernandez Alcaraz gave alcohol to a 17-year-old girl before forcibly having sex with her. Detectives later interviewed Alcaraz, who they say confessed to the crime. He now faces multiple charges, including kidnapping, aggravated sexual battery on a minor, and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Alcaraz is being held in the Charlotte County Jail and is also facing ICE detainment for being in the country illegally. A 44-year-old man is behind.
Wow. That's just terrible. The lights are on, but nobody's home. You ain't kidding. You ain't kidding. You ain't kidding. That's crazy. Wow. You ain't kidding. Wow. Wow. It just keeps getting worse, man. It just keeps getting worse. Just keeps getting worse. Broward County, Florida, man and detainer arrested for attempted murder. Oder Rodriguez Barreta Ruiz was arrested for attempted murder that occurred in 2016. Oh, he's got some shit on his face. Got attempted murder, other documents, white male. Yes, definitely that mark on his face means he's white. That's what it means. Broward Health with Deputy Torres and Deputy Dicendario at this location made contact with the victim in the ICU. Was handed the lineup that I created and presented to the victim. We finished showing the photo lineup. The victim circled, data, and signed that this is the subject who shot him. The victim explained that he had personally known the suspect for over 10 years. Used to attend school with them when they lived in Honduras. When they moved to the States approximately 5 years ago, they stayed in contact with each other on a regular basis. The victim added he was always referred to the suspect as Beretta Ruiz. Wow. Nassau County, New York, illegal alien arrested for killing 2 women's.
22-year-old Roni Yahir Alvarenga Rivera was arrested by Nassau County Police for 2 murders that happened in Valley Stream and Island Park. Crime shocking those living nearby.
Around here, yeah. If it was like in the city, maybe. But out here, it's pretty quiet.
Investigators say police responded to the Wendy's in Island Park around 12:30 in the morning on Friday. When they got there, they found a 42-year-old woman who was dead from a stabbing. Police say both Alvarenga Rivera and the woman worked together at Wendy's.
While we were at that scene, we received information that an individual who was stopped at 169 Atlantic Avenue in Lynbrook, he asked to see the police. When the police arrived, he said he had killed somebody that night.
Investigators say after arresting Alvarenga Rivera, they got information he was possibly a suspect in another murder in Valley Stream. That's when they responded to the 22-year-old's home in Valley Stream, where they found a dead 32-year-old woman who had also been stabbed. Police say the woman and Alvarenga Rivera lived together.
They rent bedrooms at that location, and there's general spaces throughout the house that they share, living room, kitchen, bathroom. So they cohabitate. They're acquaintances of one another. As far as a relationship, I'm not aware of a specific domestic relationship between those two.
County officials and police say Alvarenga Rivera came to the United States in 2016 illegally from El Salvador. He is now facing multiple murder charges.
Wow. What do you know? Multiple murder charges. Legal alien arrested for a hospital stabbing in California. Wilfredo Jose Tortolero Arrechea is accused of fatally stabbing a social worker inside a hospital. Wow.
San Francisco District Attorney Brooke Jenkins says her office plans to charge the hospital stabbing suspect, Wilfredo Arrechi, with murder and weapons charges. Police say Arrechi stabbed 51-year-old Alberto Rangel at the hospital last Thursday afternoon. Rangel later died from his injuries. Jenkins says her office is making it clear that violence has no place at hospitals, where staff should feel safe to do their work.
I know that there have been increasing concerns more generally amongst staff, and it's heartbreaking to see someone who, again, came to work that day to help others lose his life in trying to do so. But we, of course, need to rally together now and understand what measures we can take to provide additional safety.
According to hospital staff, co-workers had requested security for a doctor who had received threats from a patient. And while providing security, deputies heard a disturbance down the hall. According to court documents, allegedly both men walked to the elevator together when suddenly Arrechi grabbed Rangel from behind and stabbed him numerous times in the neck.
We have a decision to make about whether we proceed on a first-degree murder theory or a second-degree murder theory, and a part of that requires us looking very closely at the way that this played out and what threats had been issued prior.
In a statement to KRON 4 News, the Department of Public Health and Hospitals says they are investigating and making safety improvements, including installation of a weapons detection system, restricting access to parts of the building, and beefing up security details.
Beefing up security details would make, they could start by cooperating with ICE. That would be one thing they could do. Definitely that would be something they could do. That probably would help, help something, help something, help something. Pinellas County, Florida, women on detainer charged with stranger stabbing. There's a charge for stranger stabbing. This is the strangest stabbing I've ever seen. Cuban national Yasina Sofia Gonzalez Alega was arrested and accused of unprovoked stranger stabbing of a clerk at a smoke shop. What the fuck is a stranger stabbing? Attempted murder. Court dockets appear to state she's been deemed incompetent to stand trial. Well, with that, she's pretty incompetent to get that shitty tattoo on her neck. Felony out of county. ICE hold. Wow, this is over a year ago she was charged. Wow. Largo detectives determining a motive for the stabbing. Arrested and charged with attempted murder in the first degree. The case remains ongoing. Illegal alien charged with child porn. Pedophile. The Demon Rat imported an illegal alien pedophile from Mexico just arrested in Alabama for some of the sickest porn out there.
Marshall County investigators have arrested an undocumented immigrant in Albertville.
Legal
after
alien.
Tips from child
Legal
advocacy
alien,
groups
lady.
reported him for uploading child sex abuse material. Investigators received 2 more reports from the Internet Crimes Against
Must be
Children
opposite
Task
of a
Force
friendly
after
daddy.
the initial report days later. State troopers helped authorities identify the suspect, Heido Morales, by tracking the IP address to a home. After weeks of surveillance, authorities determined Morales no longer lived there. State, local, and federal agencies eventually found his current address on Lydia Street, where he was arrested yesterday. He's charged with 10 counts of possession of child pornography. Morales is in the Marshall County Jail. He'll be taken into ICE custody.
Wow.
Marshall County
Taken into ICE custody. Wow. Marion County, Indiana, Honduran teens arrested for road rage shooting.
Luckily, no one was hurt during the shooting here along 465, but state police hope the pair of arrests send an important safety message to any drivers who lose their temper behind the wheel. Merging onto 465 from I-69 in this construction zone last Saturday afternoon, a woman told police she was shot at by 2 men who sped past her in a fit of rage. Within 3 days, 2 19-year-old suspects, Lester Ramos Posadas and Hector Galvez Flores, were tracked down and arrested for the road rage shooting.
Our investigators are working very hard and we're getting really good at solving these. Early on, they were difficult. Now, our success rate is pretty good at putting people in jail.
In fact, within minutes of the shooting, Indiana State Police say this flock traffic camera picture captured the suspects.
The flock cameras,
with a
yes.
license plate taped to the back window, which helped solve the case.
Yes.
It's no secret we've seen an incredible increase in interstate shootings in the Indianapolis area over the last 5 years. And before these traffic cameras, those investigations were quite difficult because all of the information that we had to go on was based on eyewitness accounts.
State police believe Ramos Posadas is the one who actually fired the shots while riding in the passenger seat with his friend who didn't have a license doing the driving. According to this affidavit, the 2 suspects confessed the road rage incident began when the other vehicle brake checked them and the shots fired were to scare the other driver. State police said the case illustrates how traffic cameras have made it easier than ever to hold suspects accountable for their reckless behavior on the interstates. They urge everyone to stay calm and be patient behind the wheel.
The key is to disengage. If you find yourself in a road rage situation, whether you're the aggressor or the victim, disengage right away because it leads to bad things. And what we see time and time again are these road rage encounters leading immediate to deadly violence.
In addition to the felony charges against the suspected shooter, Ramos Posadas, the 19-year-old is also being held on a federal detainer for immigration-related issues. He remains behind bars at the Marion County Jail without bond pending an initial hearing. Jesse
We need to
Wells,
stop all this
Fox
fake
50
crime. Yes.
News.
Yes, we have to do something about all these cracker-ass crackers doing all these crimes. Cracker-ass crackers. Lubbock County, Texas, man and detainer arrested for shooting. Just keeps happening. Just keeps happening. Just keeps happening. Just keeps happening.
One person is now in custody in connection with a shooting last night at McKenzie Park. Lubbock police tell us Margarito Sarmiento Espinoza was in a fight with 2 other men around 7:30 at the park near Parkway and Cesar Chavez Drive.
Cesar
During the
Chavez
assault,
Drive.
He pulled out a gun and fired, they say.
Fired,
Deputy reports the
fired.
bullet hit 19-year-old Kobe Gonzalez, who was not involved in the altercation. Margarito was booked into the Lubbock County Detention Center and is charged now with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and assault causing bodily injury. One person.
And then Suffolk County, New York, a 3-time deported illegal alien from Honduras is accused of beating a man unconscious and dragging him behind a dumpster and raping him while incapacitated. So this guy raped a man. Marshals arrested Jose Ignacio Bonilla Garcias on April 4th near Richmond, Texas. He was attempting to flee to Mexico. He entered the U.S. illegally at least 4 times and was removed 3 times under Title 42. He then snuck in the country as a getaway. Oh, what do you know? What do you know? Well, everybody, everybody, unfortunately, Senator Cassie has officially been defeated. Congresswoman Julia Letlow and State Treasurer John Fleming advanced to the runoff.
This is
Mark Wayne Mullen confirms 50% of all murders in Deep Blue Fairfax County were committed by illegal aliens. Wow, 50% of all the murders in Fairfax County were committed by illegal aliens.
Programs is where we have local law enforcement that partner with federal to get these criminals off the streets like this.
That better sound, people. I could barely hear it myself. Love you too.
Roughly 50% of the murders in Fairfax, Virginia, the perps are illegal, shouldn't even be in the country. You know, that's just in Fairfax. You think about what's happening in Virginia. When you make Virginia a sanctuary city, you encourage more illegal activities. This individual right here that we just arrested, this is his 3rd time to be deported. He self-deported once. He was deported again. He snuck back across. He's living back here in this country again with a history of criminal activity. This should be happening in our streets in our neighborhood.
You ain't kidding. Well, everybody, I want to thank everybody who was here tonight. Unfortunately, we did not hit any goals at all tonight. We didn't hit Bellavision. We didn't hit anything. So that's going to be the end. We went 2 hours and 36 minutes. So we went a little, over 2.5 hours, but we just didn't make it. I want to thank everybody who was here. I might, if Joe sends me a link later on when he streams, I might jump on with him. We'll see. Otherwise, maybe I'll stream tomorrow. I haven't decided yet. I don't know. Maybe I'm streaming too much. Maybe every day is too much because, maybe I should take a couple days off here and there. So we'll see. But thanks everybody for being here. Please remember to hit like. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and please come back for Jim to tell you the news.